You know, it's a very unusual. She's incredible, by the way. I watch too. I think she's incredible.
The unexpected praise from Donald Trump and why WNBA star A'ja Wilson is throwing tantrums in the corner while the spotlight burns brighter than ever on Clark. Stick with us, because we're going to break down this Shakespearean saga that's unfolding right before our eyes. Let's start with a jaw-dropping moment. Picture this. The 45th President of the United States, Donald Trump, sitting down for a chat about sports on the Let's Go podcast with Jim Gray and Tom Brady. Out of nowhere, Trump heaps praise on Caitlyn Clark.
You know, I watched this shot go in, and it's like, couldn't she shoot that way in the NBA? If you want another, just give her the ball. She is unbelievable.
Calling her phenomenal and proclaiming her the kind of athlete who could thrive in the NBA. That's right, the NBA, why not? Just give her the ball, Trump said. The man who's never been shy about voicing his opinion didn't hold back. What was remarkable here wasn't just the praise, but the timing. At a time when Caitlyn Clark's name was quickly becoming synonymous with the future of women's basketball, Trump's endorsement was a game changer. The WNBA has long been struggling for recognition, and here comes Clark, electrifying crowds and captivating audiences, with Trump suggesting she could even play at the highest level in the NBA.
And it's a phenomena. It's something that is taking place.
Her dominance on the court is not just rewriting records, but also sparking a massive cultural shift in sports media. But while Trump's praise could have united the basketball world, something else was brewing in the background. Something less glamorous, but equally fascinating. A'ja Wilson, the reigning WNBA MVP, wasn't exactly throwing a parade for Clark's success. No. Instead, she was throwing what can only be described as a tantrum.
One thing I didn't really expect to see today was Donald J. Trump weighing in on not only Caitlyn Clark.
Let's talk about A'ja Wilson. As the face of the WNBA, A'ja Wilson is undeniably a talented athlete. She's got accolades, fans, and a remarkable career. Yet, when Trump showered Caitlyn Clark with praise, Wilson's reaction was, let's say, less than enthusiastic. She came out swinging, calling it super annoying that the WNBA was suddenly getting so much attention.
But the WNBA and women's sports in general and the pay equity issue.
Yes,
now,
you heard that right. A'ja Wilson, a WNBA MVP, was upset that the league was finally gaining recognition and interest. Wait a minute, isn't this what every athlete dreams of? More fans, higher ratings, better television contracts? For context, the WNBA recently saw its television contract jump from $60 million to a staggering $260 million per year.
Now, if you follow this channel, we all know why the WNBA is not, their salaries are not where a lot of the players believe they should be.
But instead of celebrating this surge, Wilson appeared irked by it. Why? Because she knows that the surge in popularity is not due to her own efforts, but rather the meteoric rise of Caitlyn Clark. You see, A'ja's frustration is rooted in one simple truth. Caitlyn Clark is the WNBA's true star, and A'ja Wilson knows it. When Clark steps onto the court, it's not just WNBA fans tuning in. It's casual sports fans, people who've never cared about women's basketball.
Former President Donald Trump's all in on Caitlyn Clark. Make one final call to the popular podcast, the Let's...
Suddenly filling up arenas and generating viewership like never before. Caitlyn Clark is a cultural phenomenon, a player who's turning the WNBA into something far bigger than the league's veterans, like Wilson, could ever manage A'ja's comments to many seemed petty. After all, as the WNBA's reigning MVP, she should be celebrating the league's rise, not sulking in the shadows of Clark's unprecedented popularity. But the truth is, A'ja Wilson's jealousy isn't just about the WNBA's popularity, it's about her place in the spotlight.
Go podcast, Belichick and Jim Gray. And he's all aboard Caitlyn Clark mania, he is.
Caitlyn Clark has come along and done what A'ja couldn't, bring massive attention to the WNBA, both on and off the court. Trump's scathing criticism of the WNBA, a league wasting its star. While Wilson's tantrum continued, Trump wasn't done making waves. His praise of Clark wasn't just a statement about her game, it was a subtle jab at the WNBA's management. Trump pointed out that Clark's talent is so immense, yet the league isn't paying her nearly as much as her male counterparts in the NBA.
It's hard. It's really, really hard. And I don't even know. Go ahead.
He asked why someone as gifted as Caitlyn Clark isn't raking in millions like the men, suggesting that the WNBA is failing to properly recognize and reward its biggest star. When former US President Donald Trump praised Caitlyn Clark for her remarkable performance on the basketball court,
arguably the most popular player in all of men's or women's basketball, we're talking about Caitlyn Clark and Asia.
He didn't just compliment her. He dropped a bombshell that shook the sports world and had everyone talking. Trump didn't mince words. He called Clark phenomenal, and in the same breath, he blasted the WNBA for failing to properly recognize her undeniable talent. This wasn't just your average endorsement. It was a direct call to action for the league to stop squandering its biggest star, as Trump boldly declared, "This is a phenomenon."
Wilson is annoyed by how the league grew. I'm baffled. I mean, they went from a six.
It's something unusual. Likening Clark's rise to the meteoric rise of Tiger Woods in the early days of his career. Let's be clear, Trump wasn't just cheering for Clark. He was highlighting something many fans have been saying for years. The WNBA has been fumbling the ball when it comes to acknowledging the stars who can elevate the league to new heights. Caitlyn Clark is the future of women's basketball, and her influence is undeniable. So why isn't the WNBA treating her like the star she is? That's the question that Trump raised, and it's one that fans and critics alike can't stop asking. While Caitlyn Clark is basking in the spotlight, there's another player who seems less than thrilled about the attention she's receiving. Enter A'ja Wilson, the reigning WNBA MVP. Wilson, a player with years of experience in the league, has been vocal about her frustration with the rise of Caitlyn Clark.
$60 million television contract to a $260 million a year television contract. And these players are...
According to reports, A'ja Wilson and her camp were reportedly upset by the overwhelming media attention that Clark has garnered, especially given how long Wilson has been at the top of the women's basketball scene. But the drama doesn't stop there. Rumors have circulated that Caitlyn Clark received an enormous offer from a rival basketball league, Unrivaled, to join their 3-on-3 competition. But what's truly astonishing is that Wilson's camp is now claiming that Unrivaled offered her an even bigger deal than Clarkweight.
WNBA. So that's the thing with these players, with A'ja Wilson, is she is a relatively big draw. Clearly not the Caitlyn Clark draw.
How could that be? A'ja Wilson, a player who hasn't even come close to Clark's national recognition, is allegedly being offered more money by an upstart league. The situation smells suspicious. How could a league trying to make a name for itself offer more money to A'ja Wilson, who doesn't carry the same mainstream appeal as Caitlyn Clark? Clark has single-handedly sparked a revolution in women's basketball, making the WNBA relevant to a broader audience. It simply doesn't add up that an emerging league would offer Wilson more money than Clark, whose meteoric rise has made her the face of women's basketball.
Come out, and she has deemed it, quote, super annoying at how the league has had a sudden rise.
This entire situation feels like a publicity stunt to draw attention away from Caitlyn Clark's success. A'ja Wilson and others in the WNBA seem threatened by Clark's ability to command attention, and their jealousy is palpable. It's not that they're mad about losing on the court. They're mad because they were never able to achieve what Clark has in just one season. When Caitlyn Clark stepped onto the scene, she didn't just walk into the WNBA, she kicked the door down and made everyone take notice.
Of interest. What is the IQ of these players? They're super jealous because they know this league grew for one reason and one...
In one season, she turned heads, drew massive crowds, and garnered media attention like no other player in the league. A'ja Wilson, for all her talent and accomplishments, hasn't been able to generate the same level of buzz. That's not to say Wilson isn't a great player. She is. But Caitlyn Clark is a cultural phenomenon, and that's what's driving Wilson crazy. It's not about the basketball. It's about the attention, the media coverage, and the way Clark has reshaped the way people think about women's sports. Caitlyn Clark's success isn't just about what she does on the court.
Player only. Same reason the NBA is trying to get her in the All-Star game. Arguably the most popular player in all of men's or women's basketball. We're talking about Caitlyn.
It's about how she's transcended the sport itself, making people from all walks of life care about women's basketball. And this is where A'ja Wilson and other WNBA veterans are struggling. They've been in the league for years, and yet they've never been able to captivate audiences the way Clark has. Caitlyn Clark's impact on the WNBA is undeniable, She's brought attention, excitement, and passion to a league that's often been relegated to niche status. Under her influence, the WNBA's viewership has skyrocketed, and the league is finally beginning to get the recognition it deserves. But here's the thing, this isn't about collective effort. It's about Caitlyn Clark's individual brilliance.
A phenomena. It's something that is taking place, and it's unusual. You know, Tiger, when he first went out, remember those days when Tiger went out?
Her name alone is drawing in fans who previously had no interest in women's basketball. The rise of the WNBA isn't happening because of a team effort. It's happening because of Caitlyn Clark's star power.
He was, or just a great baseball player in the minor leagues, or a first-year football player. You know, you see a running back who's making like minimum.
A'ja Wilson is a star, but let's not kid ourselves. Caitlyn Clark is the biggest thing to happen to the WNBA in years. So why would Unrivaled offer Wilson more money than Clark? It doesn't make sense. Could this be a publicity stunt designed to stir the pot and create more drama? Perhaps, but what it does highlight...
He turns out to be a superstar. You have that. Hopefully she'll keep it going, and probably will. She's going to make a lot of money.
...is the fact that Caitlyn Clark is a huge threat to the status quo. Her talent, marketability, and ability to draw attention have made her one of the most influential athletes of her generation. As the WNBA continues to grow, one thing is clear. Caitlyn Clark isn't just a star, she's the future of women's basketball.
The league could probably go up and give her a bonus. You know, wouldn't kill the league if the league is doing okay, but they could, I mean, the league could really do something with it, because it's, you know, it seems unfair, but you have a lot.
The league has finally found its golden ticket to mainstream success, and it's Clark. Her influence isn't just about scoring points on the court, it's about the cultural shift she's driving. Caitlyn Clark has made women's basketball cool, and it's only just the beginning. If the WNBA wants to continue its rise, it needs to follow Caitlyn Clark's lead and elevate the players who are pushing the league forward. Players like Clark are what make the sport worth watching. As for A'ja Wilson, it's clear that she's struggling to compete with Clark's magnetic appeal. No amount of tantrums or public outbursts will change the fact that Caitlyn Clark is winning, both on and off the court. Love him or hate him, Donald Trump's endorsement of Caitlyn Clark was spot on.
The league could probably go up and give her a bonus. It wouldn't kill the league if the league is doing okay. The league could really do something with her because...
He highlighted the WNBA's failure to recognize its biggest stars and called attention to the fact that players like Clark deserve better compensation for their contributions to the sport. If the league wants to continue its growth, it needs to stop playing catch-up and start rewarding the athletes who are driving its success.
It seems unfair, but you have a lot of that. I see it all the time with football and baseball and even basketball.
What do you think? Was Donald Trump right to endorse Caitlyn Clark? Is A'ja Wilson really jealous of Clark's rise? Or is there more to this rivalry? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Sport Pulse for more exclusive updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.